Hello and welcome. You are watching Amity TV. This is me, Sanskriti, student of Journalism and Mass Communication from Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Patna. Today we are truly honored to have with us Professor Dr. Tanu Jindal ma'am, who is Group Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Domain Head of Natural Resources and Environmental Sciences, and she is a renowned environmental scientist with decades of experience in environmental toxicology, sustainability and policy-oriented research. Ma'am has played pivotal role in advancing academic excellence and impactful environment initiatives. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, what inspired you the most to pursue a career in environmental sciences and toxicology?
Okay. Yeah. So when I was a child, I used to see pollution all around, and I saw that only it's plants, which used to give me happiness, and only plants and greenery can be the solution to this such, environment which is getting polluted. And environment impacts our physique, our mental health, our day-to-day work a lot. So, then I thought I should, work on environment as well as its interaction with ecosystem, including flora, fauna, and obviously mankind is at the top.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, could you please share a few of your insights from any recent project that you believe could bring a real-world environmental impact?
Yeah. So my recent project which I have finished is on the drains of Delhi. These drains of Delhi are, they're open. They're on concrete. So, and in other countries, generally the sewage waste is taken through big pipes. But here, the drains, sewage waste is carried out. So, and this merges into the river, polluting the river. But not only the river, many people are studying river. So, they leaching down to the groundwater.
Yeah.
And when you take sample from groundwater, it gets diluted and sometimes they are not detectable. Yeah. So you see, okay, it's fine. But when you simulate the same conditions in the lab and study the samples in concentrated manner, you see there are so many heavy metals, so many persistent organic pollutants, so much is leaching down, which is very toxic. So we have proposed the decentralization of STP plants.
Okay.
So that, the drains only can be converted into bioreactors. And once you stop pouring in Yamuna, Ganga or other rivers, they'll be clean themselves. So this is the project, which have had impact, and policies have been made for decentralization of STP plants, and 34 STP plants are coming in Delhi.
So what do you think, how important is the role of scientific research in shaping the environmental policies?
Yeah. So, research is always at the top to bring out the data.
Yeah.
Unless until you don't know the problem, the extent of problem, the kind of problem, how can you have solutions, right? And for making solutions, policies are required. For example, these pesticides, they are becoming carcinogenic, and the research have already proven that such and such pesticides, be it organochlorine, be it organophosphate, new generation pesticides have come, neonicotinoids are there, then carbamates are there, So it has proven that the old pesticides have highly carcinogenic, impact. So they are getting obsolete now by the research, and new molecules are coming which degrade faster. You know about cypermethrin, deltamethrin being used in our mosquito repellents, which has less impact, and also they are highly degradable. So research is very much required. This is a special case which I told you, but there are many policies which have been found only on the basis of the scientific discoveries, or many sustainable processes have come up which policy makers say, okay, like solar energy is there, so now policy makers saying, we are shifting towards the renewable sources of energy, we are shifting towards the herbal products, we are shifting towards the new molecules in drugs, which have less side effects. So it's all about research. Without research you cannot just move.
Yeah. So as you have vast experience in academics and research in science, so what has been that most defining moment for you so far?
Oh, for me, life is, wonderful every day.
Being around the nature.
Being around the nature always, I'm very happy. And especially at Amity, the life is so wonderful. that, I think every day is most defining for me. But when I got Antarctic Research Studies project, that was the most defining. And we studied the lakes of Antarctica, that, even the persistent organic pollutants are there in Antarctica. And we published our research, and now some policies are coming up for banning their use. That was my most ambitious project. And, opening new institute like environmental toxicology, safety and management, which encompasses all the aspects of environment and health rather than working in silos. It combines both. So that was also my defining moment. There are many defining moments for me. This interview will take long hours, if I start telling all of them.
Okay. So, as a women leader in science, what message would you like to give to the young women aspiring to enter in research and academics in science?
Yeah. So, science, I was talking to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vivekanand ji. So, management is also science. Everything is science, even your mass comm is also science. Without technology, you can't take the interviews. So women are generally very creative. She creates a birth. Gives birth. So women can enter any of the area. They can bring innovation as well as perfection. The mother, mother is doing all the chores of the home, but still she has focus on the child. So I think women can enter in any area of science, and then they can rediscover themselves. Plus, they can, research. They can research about the various processes, methods, systems which are, sustainable and good for not only mankind but also for the surroundings, ecosystem and earth. And our Honorable Founder President has always encouraged sustainability and systems in everything, and he is the visionary, who has created Amity University with sustainable systems, with campuses in many states and global campuses. So and he encourages not only children but also women scientists. He is all about research, and the kind of encouragement we get from his ideas and his life story is unparalleled. And especially women, you spoke, I think women has very great quality of, persuasion as well as adjustment and acceptability. So everything requires that flexibility.
Okay. Ma'am, I would like to thank you so much for visiting our campus, meeting our lovely professors and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. So how do you feel being here at Amity University Patna?
Oh, I've been at many campuses of Amity. To be very honest, I found this so warming and so, cordial. And in spite of being late around 5 p.m., I met almost every faculty here. They were all waiting for me, and they heard me in the lecture hall so carefully, and after that they met me, and I'm really inspired to see with no time we have around 2,553 students in this campus, and I wish within 3 years, as Dr. Vivekanand says, that will be double the strength.
Yes.
Over and above, it's not only about strength and numbers, but I see the faculty, the students, they're all bubbling with energy. And they're all very disciplined, as well as they're looking forward to grow with the organization. So that is the best thing I found here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Same here. Thank you.
For more such videos, keep watching Amity TV.